What's going on, everybody? Brian here from Brian's Broadcast. I hope all of you are doing fantastic. Today, I'm going to review a wonderful citrus aromatic fragrance for the upcoming warmer months. And if you're a first time visitor on my channel, make sure you're subscribed and hit the thumbs up button if you like fragrance related contents. Without much delay, let's talk about Bharara Viking Dubai. Now, honestly, when I saw the name, I was under the impression it's going to be one of those Middle Eastern fragrances, but it was not. It's just the name. Let me show you the box first. Beautiful green and golden, like beautiful stuff. It's matte finish, premium stuff. The ink, the golden ink is shiny, as you can see. Wonderful stuff. Like, I just love this color combination. Wonderful. It opens like a book, and as you can see, you do get like they will usually give you like a little card over here how to use that travel atomizer, which is, in my opinion, a great touch, so that you don't have to carry the entire bottle with you if you're out there out and about. I guess this is like one of your 5 or 6 ml size. The bottle sits right there. Beautiful stuff. It's got that velvet finish. Wonderful stuff. Very sturdy box. Really premium stuff. As per the website, I think they go for $350 each. It's not cheap if you're going full retail. There are discounters out there for people like us, so of course you can buy it for less. I got mine from Joma Shop. Here's the wonderful bottle. Looks like a Viking helmet right there. It's metal and it sits very tightly on the nozzle over there. So that's your fighting helmet. Bam. So it locks. You hear that? You hear that, how hard it clicks into place? And of course you get a fidget toy right there, like the ship's navigating steering or wheel, whatever you call it. Beautiful stuff. It's a deep green bottle, like emerald green. Beautiful stuff. Enough chit chat with the presentation. Let's talk about the notes. On the top you've got ginger, Italian bergamot, orange, lemon, and grapefruit. On the mids, you've got cashmere wood, magnolia, tonka bean, and violet. In the base, you've got ambergris, ambroxan, patchouli, and white musk. Now, we may have a ton of fresh fragrances in our collections, but this one stands out. First off, let me tell you something. Let me clarify one thing in the beginning. This thing is very potent. It's a loud projector. It's a beast mode performer. And when I say beast mode, it's loud. It's not just longevity I'm talking about. I'm talking about the overall performance. Like, this thing is loud. Now, when you first spray Bharara Viking, this fragrance opens with that wonderful, invigorating, energetic, zesty citruses. Now, of course, the citrus level is amped up. You see all that citrus. You've got orange, you've got orange, you've got bergamot, you've got lemon, you've got grapefruit. So they work in conjunction. And amongst all these, you will kind of like feel the difference where you get the grapefruit, which is like the zest part of it, I believe. So you kind of get that feeling where if you would chop all these fruits, like all this ripe succulent fruits, when you chop them, along with the zest and the skin and the peel itself, like there's a different kind of vibe that comes through. And this fragrance like wonderfully depicts that feeling. The ginger is very warm and effervescent and adds to the really inviting, invigorating kind of warmth, which is beautiful. Like, it's almost hard to describe in words. Like, you really need to sample this thing. If you get a decanter or something from somewhere, do try it out. And if you're like one of those persons who love to blind buy like I do, safe blind buy 100%. Don't worry, get it from a discounter though. Don't pay full retail if you get it for less somewhere else. So the opening is very juicy, very succulent, and it's wonderful. It does not feel artificial. It feels like almost like premium, borderline artificial, I would say, but it's more towards the natural side. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff. It's very refreshing. Drying down this fragrance, you will notice like the silky cashmere wood. Like, it's not your dry woodiness. It's a more silky, smooth, woody mids where it combines with the magnolia, tonka bean, and violet. Now over here, magnolia, the floral part is not too pronounced. I believe it's more of like balancing out the sweetness as opposed to like the fruity, juicy, sour vibe. This fragrance does not open up too much sour. It's more on the fruity, sweet, fruitier side, right? So it's not too tarty, not too much sourness in there. So it's very well balanced. Now the tonka bean over here is almost magical. So the tonka bean, along with the violet, kind of the violet is adding to that wonderful herbaceous vibe. And again, this is not the kind of violet you would expect from Dior Fahrenheit, where you get that gasoline smell. It's not like that. It's very well rounded. It kind of adds to the silky herbaceous feel, which is not too pronounced, doesn't add too much of green vibes, but it's right there underneath. You'll feel it, but you won't feel it like too pronounced. The tonka bean, I believe, is adding to the magical part of this fragrance's dry down. So what happens is, like, I felt that the zesty citruses, they just leave all throughout the lifetime of this fragrance, and the ginger, it adds to that effervescent vibe. And like with the tonka bean, the warmth and the creaminess that it creates, the tonka bean is like more on the creamy rather than the dry one. So it's more on the creamier side, the effervescent creamier side. Almost reminds you of Ultra Zest, I believe. That's from the house of Mugler. Ultra Zest, that orange bottle, if you will know. So I do have a clone of that. So, of course, I did not get to experience the real deal, but, trying the Duo version kind of gave me an idea what it might have smelled like. And the Duo one was smelling already fabulous, and I really enjoyed the creamy, like a ice, like, what do you call those things? Crimsicles? Ice cream? Crimsicles? Icicles? Whatever you call it. But it's more of the creamy, like almost like an ice cream, orange flavored ice cream. It's a beautiful feeling, honestly. Drying down, you do get a lot of ambroxan in this fragrance. So if you're one of those persons who does not enjoy ambroxan in the fragrances, I would say try to stay away from this one because the dose is pretty high. But honestly, I love ambroxan. I don't mind a lot of ambroxan, and it's very enjoyable in this one. Now, the patchouli, it's not one of your like dry or like super dirty patchouli. It's more like a supporting note in here. It does add to a little bit of darkness, but it's more of that earthy green, like earthy green vibe that's being added to the dry down. The musk kind of adds that clean, fresh feeling to this fragrance, and no dirty or like sharp edges in this fragrance. Very, very smooth. The performance is through the roof. I got a performance of like almost longevity of almost like 10 to 12 hours on an average, and that was with like 10 to 12 sprays. Like this thing just lasts and lasts. And if you're applying on clothes, just do it from far because the atomizer is like crazy good. Like imagine I've got really long arms, and one spray it was like so in one push, I was like all the way from my shoulder all the way to my wrist. So it was like all the way in one shot. So you can imagine this is one of your pressurized atomizer. Wonderful stuff. Like for that price point that I got from Joma's shop, this is like a big win for me. Beautiful fragrance, it keeps you energized throughout the day. But mind you about one thing, this fragrance, towards the dry down, it's a more sweeter fragrance. So it opens a very neutral and juicy, fruity opening. And as it dries down, the sweetness picks up. So it's changing constantly. This fragrance changes constantly. So the whole profile changes by the time it's almost 10 to 12 hours. And it pushes beyond that. But that's what, like, I would say, like, that's the average. Like, that's after which it might be slowly toning down, but it's still there. It's prominent. It's still wafting very strongly. Beautiful stuff. I highly recommend Bharara Viking Dubai. If you are on the edge, if you have never tried it, you want to get that thing, $62 or $65. Dude, like, that's a 100 ml bottle, wonderful bottle. And just look at this presentation. Tell me, would you not get it? At least for the fidget thing, whatever. So yeah, guys, that was my honest take from on the fragrance of Viking Dubai from the house of Bharara. Let me know in the comments, have you tried something from this house? Have you tried Viking Dubai or any other fragrance? Let me know in the comments. And until the next one, guys, please take care, stay safe, and all the best.